Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are still enjoying an amazing weekend. I hope you guys are recovering from the Leicester-Chelsea game as well. Obviously, I wasn't there, so there wasn't a matchday vlog. We did have a review at the Don Robbie Studios planned for you guys, but for some reason, there's just been some massive issues with YouTube Studio. I spent the whole day trying to upload the video, but every time I did, it kept refreshing. It kept deleting the upload. And these sorts of things are just out of our hands. And I know we tried to deliver you the quickest content possible, but this one just got taken out of our hands. There wasn't much we could do about it. So apologies. We are going to be better and quicker with content. We're going to figure out other ways around it so we don't have to just edit videos through our phones. But for yesterday, it's just a little bit of a no. We got to take it on the chin and we got to move. Just like Manchester United, which is a perfect segue. It's the main topic of this video. And Manchester United have officially sacked or released or mutual consent or whatever it is. But Ole's gone. Ole is no longer Manchester United manager. 1 week before Chelsea v Man United, and they did this. Like, I thought the writing was on the wall for months. I don't know how he survived that 5-0 battering by Liverpool. I don't know how he survived the Manchester derby and losing that one as well. I think it speaks more about the difference between our owners and Manchester United's owners. And thank God we have serious people in charge of Chelsea Football Club. Like, I love Frank Lampard. I also am very respectful of how things ended and the way the board ended things. Because they did the right thing. And just imagine if we had Manchester United's board and we had let this whole saga last for another year or two, and then there's even more Chelsea fans turning on Frank Lampard, or there's even more Chelsea fans turning on each other because they're all debating over whether Lampard should be in the job or whether he should be given more time or whether he should be getting sacked or any of that. Thank God we've got a board that takes the decision away from us and they make the decision quickly for the benefit of the club. That's the difference between serious owners and owners that are just after the money, which is basically what's happening with Manchester United. Like, I've called it the Arsenalization of Manchester United because that's basically what it is. Now it's not about winning titles or trophies for them. It's about staying in top four or keeping track in the top four race. The same thing that Arsenal were like years ago under Stan Kroenke, and they basically still are like that. It's just they've declined so far. They're not even looking at Champions League football anymore. But that's the slippery slope that you fall into when you start focusing about money over success. And thank God we're a club that focuses on both because we do make profit regardless. And we are also a very successful club too. God bless Roman Abramovich. And thank God that we haven't got owners like the Glazers in charge. Because just imagine how bad it would have been if we kept Lampard or a manager like Ole for this long. But Ole's gone and it's jarring because it means he leaves without a Premier League defeat from us. Everyone else has got their W's against Ole except us. We've had VAR get in the way of it. We've had Harry Maguire get away with it with his fucking fridge head and everything like that. Everything has come to tax for us. And also Frank Lampard and a little bit of his inexperience. But that is what it is. Like, there's been a lot of reasons and it's just jarring. And I was hoping we would have ended Ole's reign with an L at Stamford Bridge. But he's escaped it, which is probably for the benefit of him because some of the results he's been getting has been absolutely ridiculous. But in terms of what it means to us, doesn't mean that much. Like, I think it's going to be Fletcher or Carrick that's taken over while they look for an interim manager. And they're just as inexperienced as each other. Like, instead of the head coach running Manchester United now, it's the guys that were doing the training sessions for Ole. So in terms of the tactics, they're probably still going to be just as clueless. Maybe it translates a bit better on the pitch. Maybe there's a bit better in-game management. Like, I'll be real, you can't have worse in-game management than the type that Ole was showing. But it shouldn't impact us too much. We should be beating these lot. Because I've always said Manchester United's the sleeping giants until they get a new manager. I said Manchester United aren't going to be serious until they have a serious manager. The amount of people that tried to mock me for it as well. And now I'm sitting there, everything I said was correct. Sancho ain't balling out because Bundesliga tax, he needs to adapt to the Premier League. Same thing with Manchester United. These lot are looking hella frustrated because they have a quality squad and they have a shit coach and they have dead managers and dead tactics and everything like that. So regardless, it shouldn't mean too much for the United-Chelsea game. Even though, like, could be famous last words. I do know what my track record is like. So it is what it is. But if we lose to Manchester United, it's embarrassing anyway. So I'll just take it on the chin. But the Ole sacking, Doesn't mean that much to us. Just kind of wish he lasted an extra week. I really did think we were going to get to the United-Chelsea game with Ole still in charge. But it is what it is. Thanks, Watford. But moving on to the Leicester-Chelsea game, because I didn't get to speak about that on here before. What a performance from Chelsea. I do have to say as well, Leicester were horrendous. And I don't know if it's a problem with the players or the manager, but they are not the same team that we've seen from them in recent seasons. And that's despite them strengthening, which really makes it look like it's a managerial thing. Tactically, they look poor. Set pieces defensively and offensively, they weren't good enough. Transitions, they sucked. Passing routines, they sucked. Everything was poor. And I don't know what it was with them, but they were just horrendous throughout the 90 minutes. And they made it easy for us. But even with that in mind, you got to give credit to the way Chelsea played. We didn't get complacent, especially in the second half. We just continued to up the tempo. And we continued to just batter Leicester throughout the 90 minutes. Jorginho and Kante probably had two of their easiest 90 minutes this season. They tried pressing Jorginho. I saw they had 4 players surrounding him in the first 10-15 minutes. Then they just gave up and they just gave Jorginho free room to just burst passes all across the midfield. And it made him easy for him to set up attacks for us. N'Golo Kante as well, every single time they tried to transition, he was just there nicking the ball off them like that. And he always feels comfortable in returning back to the King Power Stadium. So it was good to see him have another good performance there too. And also, what a finish for the first goal. It's the confidence that you expect to see from him. Sumar just got left in the dust. He got given 20 yards of space. And when you give Kante space like that and you give him time to think, he's going to make you pay for it. Same way as always. Speaking of players who love going to the King Power Stadium, Antonio Rudiger absolutely dominated as per. But it's the same thing with the back three. And they got such little pressure from Leicester that they were allowed to push forward and basically turn into 3 deep line playmakers. You saw Trevor Chalobah bursting forward in the build-up for the third goal. Thiago Silva spraying passes all over the pitch. Rudiger as well on the left-hand side. Him and Hudson-Odoi were just dominating. Hudson-Odoi as well, his playmaking is looking so much better. And he's just continuing to improve and fire on all cylinders. Even on the bench, Tuchel's game management works wonders yet again, as the 2 substitutes that he brought on linked up for the third goal. And Ziyech, by the way, that's one of his best performances in a Chelsea shirt this season. Minus all the friendlies that we saw in pre-season in the Super Cup, that's been his best performance. He came on and he was absolutely saucing. Him and Christian Pulisic, who came back from injury and has come back straight with a fresh vein of confidence as well, which has probably come from the international break and the football that he was playing against Mexico and Jamaica. All in all, great performance. Leicester City made it easy for us, but we also showed them levels. So we can't take it away from Chelsea in the way that we performed. And we go on to the Juventus game, which we do have to get a win in this game. It's massively important. That head-to-head record could be vital when it comes to the final game of the season, the final game of the group stage, especially if we don't get the results against Juventus, which is why we have to go and get a W. But we'll delve into that in the Juventus preview. Until then, let us know your thoughts on the Ole sacking and the Leicester-Chelsea game. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G and to Chelsea Fan TV as well. And until tomorrow, we're out. Peace.